action resuming in the Kingdom. Olympia with the basketball, trailing by a point. See the shooting so far? Again, very typical in the championship game as teams tend to start off fairly tight. Jamal Crawford again called for traveling the second time so far.
You know, it can be sometimes you have a tendency to try to do too much to get your team off early in the ball game. You got to let the game come to you. And, you know, these kids are playing in the biggest game of their life. They're 16, 17, 18 years old.
Jamal has some very good talent around him. Very good athletes, excellent basketball players. It's just a case of, as Bigelow goes in, I think, David, it's the star player tonight who does the best job of getting his teammates involved will have an advantage.
I believe you're right. It's interesting that Bigelow is checking David King. I mean, he's only given up about
100
pounds, I was going to say, or more.
But King is someone, when he's that far out on the wing, Bigelow does not have to be right up on him.
No.
Well, this is something Jamal Crawford needs to settle down, because while he makes the nice dribble and he frees himself, that shot will win you nothing.
Well, and what happens, and this happens on a lot of teams, when the guy has the ball, you see what are his teammates doing? They're all standing around. From Olympia's standpoint, the last thing you want to do is foul a man taking a shot like that, fading away, falling out of bounds.
Again, all right, he hits to the line this time, but Olympia learns from that. They're not going to bail him out in the future.
Well, you'd hope not.
Jamal Crawford.
You know, Crawford had only attempted 2 free throws in the previous 3 games here in the tournament, and gone 0 for 2.
Just a big one late in last night's game, but his team able to overcome the miss. A lot of missed free throws last night in semifinal play in clutch situations in both games. 7-6 Rainier Beach lead. Each in his zone. They were in a zone last night in the second half against Mount Vernon, and it really caused a much bigger Mount Vernon team a lot of trouble. With the basketball is Ricky Frazier, a sophomore guard, 15 points last night, and he made the steal that sealed the deal for Beach to get into this championship game. Mateo Jack.
And he has one of those youthful expressions. There was a great pass. Sometimes you can be too good a passer for your teammates, but Frazier got the facial looks of a kid who's about 10 or 12 years old.
I tell you, they have a freshman guard who sometimes sees some playing time, and William Conroy over on that Rainier Beach bench. King just using his body and called for traveling.
I was going to say earlier, I want to see who's going to be the first person to take a charge on either David King or Scott Oss.
Well, David with the spin, and
I've got
that time it was Neil Swanson who's just gotten into the ball game saying, "Oh, I'll take a little body here."
I got a nickname for him. We're going to call him the Earth Mover.
Bigelow fouled inside. It was a remarkable comeback last night against Mercer Island. All the talk about Bigelow's basket at the end, but they scored 7 points in about 14 seconds, getting a 3-point shot, a 2-point shot, which tied the game. The missed free throws by Mercer Island setting up Bigelow's winning shot.
Well, and here again, Rainier Beach had gone to the zone, and Olympia, and it was Neil Swanson, who's a very good passer for a junior, back pick lob for Bigelow, but the reason that they could throw the lob is that Rainier Beach is playing a soft zone, and you can't play that way if you allow the point guard to stand out there he's like a quarterback just searching for an open receiver. You got to put pressure on the basketball.
Marquise Smith with a rebound. He had also committed the foul. Tied at 7. Ricky Frazier. Again, not a lot of execution on the offensive end as far as passing, reversing the basketball as Neil Swanson travels, turning it back over to Rainier Beach. Beach with 5 turnovers. That's the first for Olympia as far as turning over the basketball. approaching the 1 minute mark in this opening quarter. Boys 3A championship game. Rainier Beach with the ball against the Olympia Bears.
Crawford isolated an Osk right now. That's a tough mismatch. I'll tell you what, there's probably more turnovers in this game with people trying to do things that maybe they can't do rather than just playing within yourself.
Turnover number 6 against Rainier Beach. See if Olympia plays for the final shot.
Then we got Bigelow right here. Baseline side.
Seconds. Bigelow long three with Crawford flying at him. Nearly got it down. David King says, let me try a full quarter, and almost got some glass. Second quarter about ready to get underway. Let's send it over to John Horton.
You know, Tom, one of the officials in tonight's game is a guy who's doing a little moonlighting. He is Rod Marr of the Seattle Times, one of the best sports photographers in the region. He spends half his time asking referees to move out of the way so he can get a picture. Tonight, he's getting in the way of the photographers.
All right, John. Rod Marr working this game along with Craig Smith. Rainier Beach basketball. King and Osk, and the jump hook by the king of the hill.
Well, I don't know if I'd call it a jump hook, maybe a tiptoe hook. Not a lot of elevation, but he uses that big body well.
I don't think he'll compete with teammate Philip Heath for best vertical leap on this basketball team. Crawford either. They both have some pretty serious hops. Juergens, just out of frustration, let it fly. Again, Jamal Crawford making poor decisions on his shots. And I assume that was a shot. For a while I thought maybe he was lobbing it up as a pass.
Well, or winging a prayer.
Juergens off glass.
At least his was answered. He came down and it was a jump stop off 2 feet that time.
Chris Juergens, a 6'4" senior. Will either be a wide receiver or a safety at the University of Washington. Who knows, maybe both. Smith pushing up. You know,
frustration foul.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, it's advised not to do it right in front of the official so blatantly.
I knew exactly where you're going with that. You know, in high school, there's still only 2 officials. A lot of people say the game's becoming so fast, you need to get another one in there. But this one's pretty easy to call right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I use that play to get open at my age.
Smith, which is quite advanced. Smith with his second personal foul. He's gone to the bench, replaced by Mateo Jack, who started the ball game for the Vikings. Swanson. Nice double clutch move to get the shot off.
Little up and under glide, slide, dipsy doodle. Juergens does a nice job, Tom, of running things for the Bears.
Swanson, who just hit that shot, hit a critical three-pointer last night with 14 seconds left to play to pull his team within 2.
Scott Osk says, I was just trying to get in his road.
Scott Osk, his second personal
foul on Osk. Couple
3.
fives on the jersey.
22nd timeout, Rainier Beach.
There's the ball moving by Olympia, and then Swanson over King to give Olympia the 2-point lead at 11-9. Scott Osk, who could have taken Division I scholarships at other schools, wanted to play so badly for the University of Washington, he's going to walk on and hope to earn the scholarship. Weeknights at 7, tune in to Fox Sports Northwest tonight. This nightly news show brings you the stories and features of our Northwest professional, collegiate, and high school athletes.